She's been dead for 2 years. When my sister Lisa died 2 years ago, our family changed forever. We weren't perfect before. Who is? But Lisa's death fractured us in ways I don't think we'll ever fully repair. My dad barely speaks anymore, spending most of his evenings in his workshop out back, pretending to fix things that aren't broken. My mom busies herself with every charity event she can find, volunteering at the food bank, organizing church fundraisers, anything to fill the silence that Lisa left behind. And I've been stuck, angry, looking for someone to blame, even though everyone keeps telling me that blame won't bring her back. Lisa was the glue that held us together. She was warm, outgoing, always laughing. That kind of laugh that started in her chest and bubbled up until everyone around her was smiling too. The kind of person people gravitate to without even knowing why. She loved hiking, photography, and the outdoors. On weekends, she'd wake up at dawn and drive hours to catch the sunrise from some mountain peak, coming back with hundreds of photos and stories about the people she'd met on the trail. Her Instagram was full of those golden hour shots, mountains bathed in orange light, her silhouette against vast skies. Her death, officially ruled an accident, was almost poetic in its cruelty. She slipped while hiking and fell into a ravine. At least, that's what the police report said. The autopsy confirmed blunt force trauma consistent with a fall. No signs of struggle, no defensive wounds. Just a tragic accident on a trail she'd hiked a dozen times before. But if that's true, why does it feel like her ghost never left? Why do I still smell her lavender shampoo in the hallway? Why does her bedroom door creak open at night when no one's touched it? Lisa's ex-boyfriend, Matt, was never part of our family. Not really. He and Lisa dated for about a year before she broke it off. At first, I thought he seemed nice enough, polite, quiet, always bringing her flowers. But as the months went on, Lisa started to change around him. She'd check her phone constantly, her shoulders tensing every time it buzzed. She stopped posting on social media as much. She made excuses to skip family dinners if Matt was picking her up afterward. When I finally asked her about it, she sighed and said he was controlling, obsessive, constantly texting, showing up unannounced at her apartment or her work, making passive-aggressive comments when she spent time with her friends instead of him. I remember her joking about it once, calling him my stage 5 clinger, but her laugh didn't reach her eyes. But it wasn't funny. Not really. I saw the way her hands trembled when she showed me his texts. Hundreds of them. Where are you? Who are you with? Why aren't you answering? And then, when she didn't respond fast enough, I guess I don't matter to you anymore. After the breakup, Matt didn't take it well. He kept texting her, leaving voicemails that started apologetic and ended accusatory, even sending her flowers at work with notes that said things like, "I know you'll come back, and you can't just throw away what we had." She brushed it off, said he'd get bored eventually, that guys like him always moved on once they found a new target. I thought she was right. Until the funeral. Matt didn't come to the service, thank God. I don't know what I would have done if I'd seen him sitting there, pretending to mourn her. But a week later, he showed up on our doorstep. It was a rainy Thursday afternoon. The kind of rain that comes down in sheets, turning the world gray and blurry. My mom opened the door and there he was, soaked through, his hair plastered to his forehead, holding a bouquet of lilies, Lisa's favorite flowers. He knew that. Of course he knew that. "I just wanted to pay my respects," he said. His voice was soft, his head tilted like a puppy trying to look vulnerable. Water dripped from his jacket onto our doormat. My mom, who has never been good at saying no, especially not to someone who looked so pathetic standing in the rain, let him in. Matt sat on our couch, talking about Lisa as if he knew her better than we did. He described her laugh with unsettling precision, the way it sounded like wind chimes. Her smile, how the left side came up just a fraction higher than the right. The way she always ordered pancakes with extra syrup and then only ate half because she said she liked the idea of pancakes more than the actual eating of them. These were intimate details, things a brother might not even notice. My dad stayed silent the entire time, his jaw tight, his hands gripping his coffee mug so hard I thought it might shatter. I wanted to say something, to tell Matt to leave, but my mom kept nodding along, tears streaming down her face, like his words were some kind of comfort. When Matt finally left, nearly 2 hours later, I asked my mom why she let him in. "He's grieving too," she said, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. He loved her, in his own way. But I couldn't shake the feeling that Matt wasn't grieving. He was lurking. The way his eyes had swept across our living room, taking in every detail. The photos on the mantel, the stack of Lisa's books still on the side table, the exact layout of our home. He was mapping us, studying us. Over the next few months, Matt kept appearing. He showed up at family barbecues, standing awkwardly by the fence with a six-pack of beer nobody asked for. Holiday dinners, arriving just as we were sitting down to eat. Even my dad's birthday party, walking in with that coffee table book about hiking trails that he claimed Lisa would have wanted Dad to have. Always uninvited, always with some excuse. "Your mom said it was okay," he'd claim, even though my mom would look confused, or, "I thought Lisa would have wanted me here," which was the cruelest lie of all because Lisa had wanted nothing to do with him. My parents, drowning in their own grief, let it slide. They were so deep in their pain that they couldn't see what was happening right in front of them. "He's harmless," my mom said when I confronted her after the third time Matt showed up uninvited. "He just misses her. He's lonely. We should be kind." But it wasn't harmless. Not when he started asking questions. Personal questions. About Lisa's last days, her routine, where she'd been hiking before the accident. Questions that made my skin crawl. Last Christmas, Matt cornered me in the kitchen while I was refilling the water pitcher. "She was different with me, you know," he said, leaning against the counter, blocking my exit. His sweater was red and green, festive and wrong for someone who shouldn't have been there at all. I stiffened, my grip tightening on the pitcher. "What's that supposed to mean?" He smiled, that thin, unsettling smile I'd seen so many times. The kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes. "She told me things she wouldn't tell anyone else. Secrets, fears, dreams." "Like what?" My voice came out harder than I intended. His smile widened, showing too many teeth. "Like how she wasn't scared to die? She said death was just another kind of freedom." The water pitcher slipped from my hand, shattering on the tile floor. My mom rushed in, asking if I was okay, and Matt stepped back, his expression shifting to concern so quickly it had to be practiced. He helped clean up the glass, all while my heart hammered in my chest. That night, I went through Lisa's journals. She kept them in a box under her bed, journals that my parents hadn't been able to bring themselves to touch. She was the type to write everything down, her thoughts, her plans, even little grocery lists tucked between entries about her day. Most of it was normal Lisa stuff. Song lyrics she liked, doodles of mountains and trees, random observations about the people she'd met hiking. But then I found the entry from 3 weeks before she died. The handwriting was shaky, not her usual neat script. "I think Matt's been following me. He won't stop texting. Keeps saying he knows something I don't. Says we're meant to be together, that I'll understand eventually. I'm starting to feel like I can't shake him. Like he's always there, just out of sight. I saw his car near my apartment again last night. The same car at the trailhead this morning. I'm probably being paranoid, but I can't help feeling like something's wrong." My hands trembled as I read it. I showed it to my mom the next morning, expecting her to finally see reason, to understand that Matt wasn't some harmless grieving ex-boyfriend. But she waved it off, barely glancing at the page. "Lisa was dramatic sometimes," she said, folding laundry with mechanical precision. "You know how she could be. I'm sure it's nothing. Matt's been nothing but respectful." A few days later, I saw Matt's car parked down the street from our house. It wasn't the first time. I'd noticed it before, idling near the corner, but I'd convinced myself it was a coincidence. Maybe he had a friend in the neighborhood. Maybe he was visiting someone else. This time, though, I knew. I stood at my bedroom window and watched that car for 40 minutes. It didn't move. No one got in or out. Just sitting there, engine off, watching. He wasn't watching our family. He was watching me, making sure I knew he was there. I started checking the locks twice every night. I stopped going outside alone. I felt eyes on me everywhere I went. At the grocery store, at work, driving home. I kept seeing that same gray sedan in my rearview mirror, always 2 or 3 cars back, never quite close enough to be certain. Last week was my dad's birthday. I'd begged my parents not to tell anyone outside the family, to keep it small, just the three of us. But Matt showed up anyway, holding that gift he claimed Lisa would have bought, a coffee table book about hiking trails in the Pacific Northwest. He handed it to my dad with a sad smile, like he was delivering a message from beyond the grave. I couldn't take it anymore. I followed him outside when he left, catching him before he reached his car. "What the hell are you doing here?" I snapped, my voice louder than I intended. His smile didn't falter. He looked at me like I was a child throwing a tantrum. "Paying my respects," he said calmly. "Lisa broke up with you. She wanted nothing to do with you. She was scared of you. Why can't you let her go?" His eyes darkened, the friendly mask slipping for just a second. "She told you that?" "Yes." He took a step closer, close enough that I could smell his cologne. The same cologne Lisa used to complain about, said it smelled like pine trees and lies. His voice dropped to a whisper. "She told me a lot of things too. Things she didn't tell anyone else. Things about what she really wanted." Then he said something I'll never forget, words that turned my blood to ice. "I was there, on the trail. I felt like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. My vision tunneled." "What?" He smiled again, a cold, empty thing that made him look like a stranger. "She didn't fall. She looked me in the eyes and asked me to let her go. Said she was tired. Tired of running. Tired of me. Tired of everything. She wanted me to be the last person she saw." My stomach churned. I tasted bile. "You're lying. You're a fucking liar." He tilted his head, studying me like I was an interesting specimen. "Am I? Ask yourself this. If she slipped, why didn't she scream?" The hikers who found her said there was no sign of panic. No torn branches where she might have tried to grab on. Nothing. Just Lisa, lying in that ravine, peaceful as could be. "Because she died instantly," the police said. "The police said what they could prove," he interrupted. "But I was there. I saw her eyes. I know the truth." He got in his car and drove away, leaving me standing there, shaking, my mind racing with horrible possibilities. I called the police that night. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely dial. I told them everything. The stalking, the journal entries, his confession about being on the trail. I told them about his car parked outside our house, about how he kept showing up uninvited, about how Lisa had been scared of him before she died. The officer on the phone sounded sympathetic but skeptical. They said they'd look into it, that they'd send someone to talk to Matt, ask him a few questions. When they went to his apartment the next morning, it was empty. No furniture, no clothes, no food in the fridge. The landlord said Matt had given notice a week ago, said he was moving out of state for work, paid his last month's rent in cash, and disappeared. No forwarding address. No phone number. The cell number I had for him went straight to a disconnected message. His social media accounts were deleted. It was like he'd vanished into smoke. It's been a week now since Matt disappeared. A week of jumping at every sound, of checking behind me constantly, of feeling like I'm being watched even though I know he's gone. Or at least, I hope he's gone. I haven't told my parents what he said. I don't know if they'd believe me. My mom would probably say I'm misunderstood. That grief makes us hear things that aren't there. My dad would get that tight look on his face and shut down completely. They've built a version of Lisa's death that they can live with, and I don't know if I have the right to take that away from them. But I can't stop thinking about it. About Lisa on that trail, about Matt standing there, about what really happened in those final moments. Was he telling the truth? Did she really ask him to let her go? Or was it something worse? Did he push her? Did he stand there and watch her fall? Every night, I double-check the locks. Every night, I sit in my bed, clutching my phone, too scared to sleep. I keep Lisa's journal on my nightstand, reading through it again and again, looking for clues I might have missed. Last night, I finally decided to look through all of Lisa's journals again, not just the one from before she died. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I missed something. Maybe I was looking for answers. Maybe I just wanted to feel close to her again. I spread them all out on my bedroom floor. 5 years worth of journals, different colors and sizes, some worn and some barely touched. I started from the beginning, reading about her college years, her first job, her hiking trips, her relationships, looking for any mention of Matt, any sign that something was wrong before those final entries. But this time, There was something new in the last journal, something that made my hands go numb. The last page, which had been blank when I read it a week ago, I'm certain it was blank, now had a single sentence scrawled across it in jagged black ink. The handwriting was wrong, too angular, too harsh. Not Lisa's careful script. He's not watching. He's inside. I haven't slept. I can't sleep. I've checked every room in the house 3 times. Every closet, every corner, under every bed. I've tested every window, every door. Everything is locked. Everything is secure. But I can hear it now. The creaking of floorboards in the hallway outside my room. The sound of breathing that isn't mine. The smell of that cologne, pine trees and lies, seeping under my door. My phone is in my hand. I should call the police. I should call my parents, who are sleeping down the hall, oblivious. I should do something. But I'm frozen, staring at that sentence in Lisa's journal, understanding finally what Matt meant when he said Lisa told him things. Understanding what he meant when he said he was there on the trail. He's not haunting our family. Lisa is, and she's trying to warn me. The doorknob to my bedroom is turning. Slowly. So slowly I can hear each tiny click of the mechanism. I didn't lock it. I never lock it because we're a family, because we're supposed to be safe in our own home. I was wrong. The door opens. A figure stands silhouetted in the hallway light. I can't see his face, but I can see his smile. That thin, unsettling smile. I told you, Matt whispers. I'm not watching anymore. The last thing I remember is reaching for my phone, trying to dial 911, and then his hand, cold, so cold, wrapping around my wrist. He's stronger than he looks. Or maybe I'm weaker than I thought. Maybe grief has been hollowing me out from the inside, making me vulnerable. He leans close, and I can smell that cologne, mixed now with something else. Something metallic. Something wrong. Lisa understood in the end, he whispers. I helped her understand. Now it's your turn.